Real conversations with Amy Dahl about wealth, about generosity, and about family success. Welcome to the Dollars and Cents, the podcast.
Hello. Good morning and welcome to Dollars and Cents. I'm Amy Dahl with RE/MAX Alliance, and I am so excited that you're joining us. This is our last podcast for 2024, and today we have a very special guest. Joining me today is Lesia Van Syckle. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Lesia, Coffee and Cohorts, a company that she founded 3 years ago to empower women to live their best life and live that life to its fullest. So thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I'm super
Thanks
excited.
for having me. Yes.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your company.
Sure. So I started just about 3 years ago, and my passion is working with women that want to make some type of change in their life. And so I get to walk alongside with them through that transformation. And that change might be anywhere from their thoughts and their emotions, and maybe where they want to change that or learn how to process their emotions. It might be wanting to set nourishing habits and behaviors. They might want to work on some of their relationships, ultimately creating a life that they are set on fire to wake up for every morning.
That is awesome. What inspired you to create the company?
Well, the short of the story is about 8 or 9 years. I was in just kind of a weird place. Wasn't sure what was going to happen next. Kind of woke up a little bit low-key irritated every morning, a little resentful. And so I started working with a counselor who was amazing and great, but I wanted tools to use. And so I started working with a life coach myself. And she helped me tremendously. And so I decided I want to be able to do this for other women. So I have a treasure chest full of tools that I have learned, that I have used, and now I'm able to share them with other women.
Nice. Do you love being a life coach?
Absolutely. I love it every day. I'm super excited. Also, just set on fire every morning to wake up and get to work with women to enhance their lives.
Awesome. So we chose this as our last topic of the year because we're getting ready to go into 2025.
Yes.
And you're an entrepreneur. And I know that a lot of women and a lot of individuals, men and women that listen to this podcast, are entrepreneurs themselves. And maybe they have a small home-based business. Maybe they have a big thriving business. Maybe they're just running their family, which, gosh, we all know takes certain entrepreneurial skills to keep that family running. And you've done both. You know, you've mastered a family and you're running a business now. Talk to me about the business side of things and what you're looking forward to in 2025.
Ooh, I am looking forward to all kinds of things. So as a business of 3 years, I have added some new sources to my program. And so this next upcoming year, I'm going to add in 2 different weekend retreats. So in 2024, I did one weekend retreat that was amazing. And it was all about setting women up for success as we were coming into a busy season. And so we're going to do that again in 2025 and grow into several other different programs that I'm going to add.
Neat. So are your retreats local?
Yes, they are. So the last one I did in North Carolina, it was an entire weekend. We checked in on Friday, checked out on Sunday. I brought in some guest speakers. We did workshops. We got to know each other. We had dancing. We had games. We had all kinds of good stuff. So really just setting women up to take care of themselves so they could pour into their businesses or their families.
So are they kind of like a reset for women?
Yeah.
Kind of like a reset to gear up, or are they more business minded or more like personally focused in growth?
Yep. So we really looked at finding nourishment for your heart, your body, and your soul. So we worked a little bit. If you were business owners, yes, you could bring some of these tools in to take care of yourself as a business owner, but also looking at you as a mom, as a friend, as a sister, all those other hats that we wear, how to keep your cup full and to be able to serve others well.
So it really sounds like any woman would benefit from your retreats.
Yes.
That's really cool. So what are you looking at as a business owner? If you had advice to another business owner for next year, what steps are you taking to win next year? Win 2025 and make it your best year yet.
Yeah. So as a family, we kind of sat down and look at 2024 as what's worked, what hasn't worked, what we could have changed so that we can prepare for 2025 well. And then really going ahead and putting things in place, some systems in place so that we're ready 2025 to start well in the very beginning.
So you touched on, that's funny, that so you touched on bringing your family into this.
Yes.
So you goal plan. I know your husband's an entrepreneur as well. So you guys goal plan for your businesses. You're used to that and you've done that. You've set your goals, but you bring your family into goal planning.
Absolutely.
And that's actually one of the biggest reasons I called you, because I knew you did this, and I thought, one of our pillars on the podcast is family success and how to teach your children to be entrepreneurs, not only from like saving money and investing and stuff, but also from the goal planning and that mindset. And you're so focused on mindset, which I love. Talk to me about how you bring that mindset home to your family and your children, and how you integrate goal planning in with your family.
Yeah. So as a family, we have always done goal setting and vision boards.
Yeah.
And so
okay, wait a minute. I'm going to back up. I'm going to interrupt.
Okay.
You have 2 children. I haven't told everybody this. So talk to me about your children first, and then we're going to talk about your goal planning.
Perfect. So I have 2 kids. My daughter is 25. She lives about a mile from me, and she is a relationship manager for a local law firm. And then she's married. She got married and graduated from college all during COVID. And then I have a 20-year-old son. He just turned 20 last week, and he is a welder doing an apprenticeship as a machinist. And so we have always done goal setting and vision boards in our family. And so it looked a little bit different when they were younger. Back then it might have been, okay, this year I'm going to work on doing my chores without not being reminded necessarily. And so we've definitely had the years where they may not have wanted to sit down, but we've always done it.
So you literally sit down at the kitchen table and goal plan with the kids.
Yes.
At a young age.
Yes.
And did you do true on vision boards, or did they write them out, or did they cut out pictures? Tell me what it looks like. Yes. I'm sure other moms are, now their wheels are turning like, ooh, I should do this with my kids.
So I think my favorite part about that is you set the stage for great conversation. So, when your kids are younger and they are setting goals for the upcoming year, maybe, okay, I want to apply for this college, or this is what I'm thinking my life might look like. You really get to sit down and have that conversation, like, why are you thinking that school, or what draws you to that? And then as they get older, you get to see even more, like, what are they planning as a thriving adult? Like, what are their visions? What are their passions? And you really get to ask questions around all that. So yes, so we have always sat down, usually before the end of the year, and planned out our goals. How are we going to make these goals? How are we going to achieve them? How can we support you as a mom, as a dad? And then we have the fun part, the vision board making, where we do pictures and words and affirmations and all that good stuff. And something new that we're going to implement this year is my husband and I, we do quarterly check-ins. So we actually go away and do a weekend away. And I can tell you more about that. But as a family, now that my kids are adults, I want to have quarterly check-ins with them. So we can really find out where they are soaring, where they are like, okay, this worked really well this last quarter. I'm going to keep going into the next quarter. That's really not waiting for the entire year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love that. And it's, a lot of things I love about that. First of all, you're modeling the behavior, and our children see everything. I mean, they pick up on everything.
Yes.
It amazes me. I was struck this weekend by how much they see things, because my 11-year-old, well, I was out of town. It's a long story. I was out of town, and I came back only to find out, for the babysitter to tell me that they set up a snack and popcorn stand on the street and raised $30, and they're giving 25% of it to charity. And I'm like,
awesome.
They were selling off stuff in our pantry, but it was the point that they were learning entrepreneurial skills. And so your children are learning these goal setting skills, and they were raised with them, and you're teaching them to speak their vision. So not only do you get to see their vision, you're forcing them to speak it and to speak it into fruition, because without vocalizing it and putting it on paper, there's nothing to strive for.
Right.
My husband and I do check-ins too, and we schedule, we actually schedule monthly business meetings, but it's just the two of us, business lunches, where we reevaluate where we're at in our progress. But talk to me about your quarterly your quarterly check-ins that you do with your husband and that you're going to bring into the family.
Yes. So my husband and I go away for the weekend, and we actually have a whole agenda that we've actually typed and shared with other people. So I'm happy to share that with you. But so we go away for the weekend, and yes, we take all the stuff with us, our planner, our highlighters, our markers, our dry erase board, and all that good stuff. And we use that time, one, just to get away and really find out with each other, you know, what are you excited about with your business? What's been hard? What can we do different? What are you really enjoying? What adjustments can we make so that you are thriving even more? And then throughout that time, through the weekend, of course, we sprinkle in all kinds of fun stuff so that we're able to enjoy the weekend as husband and wife as well. But then it gives us that whole entire weekend to plan for the quarter, for that quarter, and what we want to change, what we want to do. And also the chance to really share with each other what our goals are, because we do stay busy and we don't always get to dig into what are your goals and why and all that good stuff. And then we have a coffee once a month where we sit down and check in and do that. So we have found really getting out of our everyday environment, getting away for the weekend, or, you know, our monthly check-ins when we have coffee. It's not at our house, just kind of getting out, changing the environment works really well for us as well.
Yeah, we do the same thing. And if you're self-employed, it's a business write-off, right?
It is. And then we get to find out how we get to celebrate with each other when we reach our goals and all that good stuff. So
I love it.
Yes.
You're fortunate to have your husband is your accountability partner, because you're both self-employed and you're both entrepreneurs. But if you had to give advice to another business owner that maybe their husband does something totally different, or they're in the military or something like that, and they're not necessarily their accountability partner, how would you talk to them about, setting goals and measuring those goals for next year?
As husband and wife, or as a family, or both?
Or both. Both.
Yeah.
Because you may have some single parents out there.
Yeah.
You may have some who don't have children out there, you know?
So I think it's interesting if you really set the time to sit down and really plan for your goals, and really discuss it with everyone in your family. Maybe it looks like asking them to get on board with you. Like, hey, I want to accomplish this in the first quarter of the new year. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm passionate about it. Allowing your family to get on board with you, to support you and make it more of a family effort. And then it gives you a chance to share with your kids, this is what's important to me. It also gives you the opportunity for your kids to maybe see, maybe you not make a goal and how you bounce back and what you do from that point next. And then as your husband, if you aren't actually working side by side, it's just still a great opportunity for you to share what's important to you, what you're passionate about, and then maybe allowing them to support you in different areas, but sharing it with them so they even know why you're excited about it.
Yeah. Vocalizing it. My kids are young and yours are older. So my boys are, for the audience that doesn't know, are 6, 8, and 11. And so we've just started integrating, goals with them and setting those goals. And we're going to do, you inspired me, actually. We're going to do the vision boards when they're on Christmas break. We're going to sit down at the table, and we've talked about goal setting before, but the vision board thing is new. And I'm excited to try that with them and have them put it on paper. And we usually spend the end of the year talking about what they want to accomplish and if they could go anywhere where they want to go. But I love the vision board idea. I also believe firmly, I love coaching. I love bringing somebody else into your life outside of the marriage that you're accountable to, who will challenge you. I hired a coach years ago, and it's a game changer for me on the personal front, on a professional front. It's somebody that I look up to who does not, isn't even in my circle or my sphere. I went outside my sphere to make sure it was somebody who would challenge me. But it is amazing how different it is. And it's my coach this year made me think long term. And so we go, he wants us to go 25 years out in our goals and work our way backwards. My husband and I go 12 years out, because that's when our youngest son will graduate. And I know where I want to be. That was the easiest for me, because I know where I want to be when he graduates high school, because we want the freedom to travel and things like that. And so we back him up to get all the way to this year. And
Okay.
when you start dividing it up into years, what do we need to do to accomplish that 12-year goal? Well, we need to meet our, 5 and 10-year goals, which means we need to hit our 1-year goals. And then
Right.
those measurables. That 1-year goal means that we need to hit our quarterly goals. And ours all have to do with investing and finance and then generosity and what charities we want to give to and stuff like that. And where we want our where we want our family to be and what trips we want to take and the time off and travel. So when you look at goals with your family, what does that look like? What have you taught your kids as far as
Well, I'm
how do you
impressed
talk to
that
them?
y'all go out 12 years.
We do. I actually struggle with the 1 year until I look long term. And I think it's different for everybody, right? Like when somebody asks you, well, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Or what do you want to be? I'm like, I don't know. But what I do know, find what you do know, find your passion and what you do know. What I do know is when my youngest son graduates high school, my parents travel now for a living.
Okay.
And so they come back here, they're fully retired, but they're in their 60s. And so they have that liberty through investing and things like that to travel.
Yes.
And I look at that and I think, man, I don't know where my kids are going to be. Are they going to be off in college? Are they going to be local? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want to just be able to pick up and go see them if I want. And right now I'm so busy, I don't know that I could say that I could do that and just leave. And so what I do know is that 12-year goal, if you had asked me what I wanted to do 25 years from now, I have no idea. Even though my coaches asked me that, I have no idea. So it's okay not to know. So I tell people and I tell my staff, figure out what you do know and work backwards from there. But how do you teach your kids when you talk to them about goals? And you've been doing this for years. You're way ahead of me on that.
Well, we have talked about 5 and maybe 8-year goals. Like I said, I don't know that we've gone out as far as 12-year goals, but we really talk to our kids about
children. I think it's different too.
Yes.
Children don't know where they want to be 20 years from now.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. We just really talk to our kids a lot about, let's figure out what your passions are. What do you get really excited about? And then as they've gotten older, let's figure out what your passions are. Then let's see how you can make money from it, so that I would love to know that my kids go to work every day and it's not work. It's a passion that they get to go and do. And why they do enjoy that so much. And we really like to dig into that. Like, why does that fulfill you? And then how does that even expand as far as setting goals around that? And is it traveling, or is it investing, or is it, my daughter bought a house 2 years ago. Like, that was one of their goals. So, and then as a parent, when your kids are older and they set these big goals, and then you get to sit back and watch them achieve these, milestone goals as thriving adults, you're like, oh, then you get to celebrate with them. And it's a totally different view for your kids.
That is cool. And I think I heard your son's looking to buy a house.
He is.
And he's 20 years old, which is just amazing and awesome.
It is.
And did I hear that your daughter won an award or was featured in a...
Yeah. She won 40 under 40 with Inside Business, which is great because she's only 25.
She's 25.
And then she also was 40 under 40 with ODU. And a couple other
she's got another
awards.
15 years to go.
I know. So, and she, so she's won a couple of awards and she's doing amazing like that. And she looks very young for her age. So that's even funny along with it. She looks like a child, like a super young child doing that, but she's doing amazing.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. And my son
And does she come back home for you when you guys sit down and do all this goal planning? Because I know she's local, but she's married. Does her husband come in on it now too?
Yeah. So the last few years, we've all sat down. I want to say we did it the first year, even before they were married, her and her husband, Tyler. So we've done it every year. We've never missed a year for goal setting and vision boards. And we even dig into, like, where are you going to hang this when you take it to your house now? Right. And my daughter's even shown me hers a couple of times throughout the year, her goal poster, and my son's goal poster and vision board is on his ceiling in his bedroom.
Have you ever had any aha moments with your kids? Like they had a goal or a vision that you didn't even realize was there?
I don't know that we've ever seen them have one that we had no idea about, but maybe not to the full extent.
Yeah.
But as we were saying, it just really gives that great conversation to really dig into, why do you have that goal and what's the big vision around it? Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. for the longest time, my oldest talked about being a marine biologist. And then one year we were talking about goals. And I thought I knew everything. And he comes home with a paragraph from school about how he wants to be a Marine. And I'm retired Navy.
Wow.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute. We had never talked military. I mean, we talk about the military a lot, but we'd never push that on our kids because that would be a decision they have to make on their own. We talk about what we loved about it. And now I don't know where, he's 11. So they change their mind every couple of years.
Absolutely.
But it was very eye-opening, and his reasoning behind it, keeping people safe and protecting the country, all things that we had always talked about. But he came totally out of left field that he all of a sudden wanted to be a Marine.
That's awesome.
But it does inspire conversation that we wouldn't otherwise have, and you get to see a little bit of way their brain is working. Every year is a little bit different too as they get older.
Absolutely.
The things that go into those thoughts.
Yep.
So.
It's a great time.
So if you had one piece of advice, let's say for a parent, we'll start with a parent, one piece of advice, and then maybe for somebody who's a business person or entrepreneur headed into 2025, what advice would you give that? What are you telling your clients?
Well, I'm very big on reflection and looking like, okay, we're finishing out this year. What was your favorite part? Where did you excel? Where were you fulfilled? Where was your passion really intensified? And then looking into the next year and what you can build around that. And then creating those stretch goals. Like, okay, this is what I can do next year and I will do. And then this is my stretch goal. Yeah. But I just love to be able to finish out the year strong with what you accomplished, which also goes back to your thoughts and your mindset, like we had talked about in the beginning. But celebrating what you did accomplish and what you did well with, so you're entering the next year from a celebratory state and what was great and wonderful as you're going into the new year.
Yeah. And you're hoping for your business next year. So you want to do 2 retreats next year?
Yeah. So I offer one-to-one coaching, group coaching. I do corporate workshops. I do a monthly coffee social, and then my monthly retreat. And
you're here in Chesapeake.
Yes,
right?
I am.
Are all your clients local, or do you do anything Zoom or online?
Yeah. So some of my clients are local, but some are not. And so I do work with them by Zoom. Which is amazing and great. And so I have a detached cottage, which is where I run my business from. So I've created this great, very female, very feminine space where we get to meet, a super safe, encouraging environment where we get to meet for all of those, for coaching events. And then some ladies choose to meet in person, alternate person or by Zoom, just kind of fitting in with their schedule.
Because not all your clients are business owners. Some of them are just moms, but they're people going through change in their life.
Absolutely.
Or hoping to make a change.
Yes. Yep. So some of my clients are as young as 23, 24. Nice. Some are as old as 65, 66, have retired and kind of going into a new season of life and want to work through that.
I'm impressed that 23 and 24-year-olds see the benefit of coaching and lifestyle coaching and mentorship like that. That is that's wisdom beyond their years.
Yes.
And humility. And I teach all my agents and all my staff, surround yourself with people that are more successful than you are. Surround yourself with the people that are where you want to be. But I don't think that, and I think that's intuitive in some people, but to recognize the value of paying for somebody to help you, to hold you accountable and to help you see the bigger picture sometimes is huge.
It is, yes. They impress me as well.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, and I love working with all ages. They all bring their own special interest and talents too. So yeah.
And tell me a little bit. So your husband's an entrepreneur. We touched on this as well, and he's been in business for a long time, right? You guys have been married.
We have been married for 28 years, and so he's been in business for 26 years.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's an expert in leadership growth and sales, and he also works remote and in person and all kinds of good stuff like that too. So.
Yeah, we're going to feature him one day too. Don't you worry. He's coming up. Because he takes a whole different approach to business and leadership, but you guys really complement each other.
I think I refer to him as my hottie. So
You're
yes.
funny. I love it.
So yes, and I often go to him, and I have to remind him and myself what hat I need him to wear.
Yes.
So as I go to talk to him, I'm like, I'm coming to you as my husband, or I'm coming to you for some sales help, or whatever that is. So that good communication.
Well, I am really happy to have you. I'm excited. I want to integrate the vision. I'm excited to integrate the vision boards into the family. So I'll let you know how those go.
Yes, I would love to see.
Did you guys cut out pictures when your kids were young?
We still cut out pictures even now. Yes.
Oh, that's right. Because you said you put them up too.
Yeah. So I think the vision board is great because it allows you to really represent yourself, telling your brain what's super important to you, but get creative, let all that emotion be represented on your vision board. So yes, pictures and colors and paint and all the good stuff, depending on how young your kids are. Mine always has glitter on it, so I like to glitter on everything, but yes. So when you look at it,
you're a better mom than I don't know. Glitter and Play-Doh make me cringe.
Oh yeah. Well, we usually have glitter left over a little while after, but that's okay.
Oh, that's so funny. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate being here. This was great.
This is really fun. I look forward to seeing your business grow next year.
Thank you.
And I will let you know how our vision boards go.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to find you, how do they find you?
So you can find me online at www.coffeecohorts.com. And then, of course, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff, all the social media platforms.
Awesome. And this is Lesia Van Syckle, you guys. We will link her information in our Spotify and YouTube and Instagram channels. So you can reach out to me, reach out to Lesia. She would be a great resource for you to help you win 2025. So cheers to a new year.
Yes,
I hope you have a wonderful new year. And
you as well.
Thank you again.
Conversations with 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 about wealth, about generosity, and about family success. Welcome to the Dollars and Cents